would like to know if you remember a night like this with such a start, and if you ever played a song twice, because
it's a first for me.
Yeah.
Is it?
And it's been a long time, I think, since that's happened for me too. But
Yeah.
I think the situation warranted playing it again.
But what happened? Do you already know what happened? Your album didn't work.
I have no idea. A bad cable or something.
But it was basically we didn't hear you. That was
Yeah.
you played and your guitar
There was
didn't
nothing.
come
He
through.
was-
There were
he
some
was
evil
really-
demons out there messing with things.
And apart from that, how did you like the night? That was your first night in Europe for some time, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
we haven't been
first
here a
night of
while.
it. I
It
think
was very good. The crowd was good. And
Yeah.
we had a good time.
Yeah. And German crowds as such, how do you like playing in Germany? I mean, playing in Great Britain must be very nice for you, especially. But how do you like German crowds?
To me, it's great here.
And Germany's always been a great place for us. I mean, we started in Germany, really. 69, 70. This is where we made our living in playing in Germany, in the UK. In Germany, I think maybe we were bigger in Germany before Britain, even though we were an English band. Yeah, because we had the very first album did well here. A couple of tracks, Come On Everybody, and Boogie for George. Yeah, Prince Kajuka was the second album, but Boogie for George was the first, and did well here, so we got a following here, and we used to come here a lot. In fact, when we were driving to Bochum today, we were seeing all these small towns, and I remember playing in those places, so we have a very good history with Germany.
Yeah. And when I looked at the set list, there were not that many songs from the new album that you played. I think around 3 or 4.
No, 2 actually.
Two, actually.
Only 2. Okay, then
Only
there was
2.
another one.
Oh, actually, it was 3 tonight because you got the first one twice.
Yeah.
You better work on your math skills a little bit.
Oh, I will. Until the next time we meet.
There actually was
Get the
3.
calculator.
There was 3 at one point. We actually had stopped breaking down.
And then
in
there were
sets.
2.
And it's a matter of time. And unfortunately now we have, I think, 20 studio albums to take
course.
material from. And I mean, there's nothing off a Monkey Puzzle in the set anymore. It just becomes the point where people want to hear the stuff they want to hear, and it's hard to squeeze the new stuff in. But at least there's 2 songs from the album. So.
I would have, of course, Hell Driver, and then Villains and Thieves.
Oh, you
I
like Villains
very
of the
much from
Well, you had Stop Break. No, you had Saving Me. Yes.
That's the first one. Yeah.
Twice.
Twice. Yeah.
The new album sounds very much like a Vinnie Moore album. It sounds like very bluesy from the first song, but there are also others which seem to have a strong blues influence. Did you do a lot of writing?
I think I wrote 6 of the tunes on the new record. And I mean, I've always been into blues. I've always been into melodic rock. Hell, I'm into everything. Jazz, funk, I like it all. Techno.
It's an interesting thing, isn't it, though? How the band is changing. As you change the lineup, obviously you change the chemistry of the band. But I noticed when I came back, I came back just before Monkey Puzzle. And when I heard the material, it was all written for Monkey Puzzle. When I rejoined the band, I thought, man, this is really much more bluesy than the last album that I'd done, which was Walk on Water, which is still, fairly straightforward, like UFO kind of rock, harder rock. And I think it's progressed from there, from Monkey Puzzle to this new album. And I love that, because that's where we started from. Like in the late 60s when I met these guys, that's what we were doing, was from blues. That big, huge blues boom, the late 60s in England, where John Mayall and Eric Clapton, all those guys coming from there, Peter Green, and to me it just feels great, that kind of bluesy edge to it. I love that.
I think a lot of it has to do with Phil, too. I mean, we write a lot more songs that then end up on the record, and he tends to choose the bluesier stuff.
Yeah.
I've noticed that about him lately.
Oh, really? I was thinking that was
He's
more
got.
your
I mean, I
influence.
think it's suitable for his voice. I mean, if I write like 15 songs, he seems to always gravitate towards the ones that are bluesy, and they end up on the record. So,
That's true.
it's not only me writing in that style; it's also him choosing that style too.
So what can we expect from the next album? Like a Robert Johnson tribute or something?
Exactly.
Who knows?
We're going to the crossroads.
That's the kind of weird thing about this band. It's it's never really planned. It just kind of comes from here at the time. I had people say to me, why don't you do this and why that? I said, well, because we've never set out to actually create something to try and fit a market. You know what I'm saying? Never thought, we need to write a song to appeal to this group of people. It's just what comes at the time. And as Vinny said, I think Phil you know, at this stage is kind of revisiting his roots somewhat, you know, and he tends to choose the bluesier songs, which is fine, you know. That's you know.
Well, there are still strong rock elements, like Hell Driver could have been on any album of the 70s, 80s, right? It's a real, that's like a UFO song, as close as it can get.
It is very much, you know, like, it reminds me of like a Natural Thing or something like that, you know,
That's what I was thinking when I heard it first time, So, that was, so who does the writing at the moment? Is it Phil and you, or is it the whole band? Who would write the songs?
Phil writes the lyrics and the vocal melodies, of course, and I wrote 6 on the new record. Andy wrote 1, and I think Paul wrote 4, maybe? Something like that.
So, what is the feeling in the band now? Do you have the feeling that you're in calmer water? Is it like it's a real band now? You have the feeling that you've overcome all that?
From my
I thought
point
he
of
said
view,
karma water. He said
calmer water.
calmer.
Thanks, Rob. For me, my personal, you know, because I don't, if you know, this is my 3rd time back in the band. You know, I was sort of 69 to 83, left, came back in 84, did Walk on Water, left again, came back 2005. A lot of the reason I wasn't in the band was because of the problems, the instability of the band with Michael. I mean, much as I love Michael, I think he's an incredible musician, there was a lot of instability with him in the band. You know, a lot of, and that's, I'm not into that. You know, I like to know that if I'm sitting on that stool, that I'm going to get to at least finish the set. You know, or the song at least, maybe. You know,
that's always good. Finishing the song.
It's always good. So, you know, for me, yes, I think the band is really strong. I mean, obviously, you know, we were talking about Pete earlier, and we will discuss, you know, Pete. Pete does have serious health issues, which precludes him from being in the band right now. I mean, for anyone who's a huge Pete fan, as we all are, you know, we love Pete. You know, he was a huge part of this band. We hope he's going to get well enough to rejoin the band. Just at this point of time, he just isn't well enough to fulfill his commitment. So we just hope that gets better with time. But I think right now the band, I mean, you saw the show, I think it's a very strong band. And, you know, I think it needs to be at this point of our careers. You know, you can't keep messing up. You know, you've got.
We ain't doing this shit for fun. Exactly. This is serious.
You know? You got to give people value for money. People don't have money right now. You know, if they're going to find the money to buy a ticket, they need to have something decent to watch. So I think that's where we're coming from anyway. And we have a lot of fun. You know, I mean, you know, this is serious music, but it's aimed at fun. You know,
so it's still fun when you play Doctor for
I
what do I know?
think,
It
of
must
course.
be your £1,000.
God knows, yeah. You know,
more than that probably.
Phil, like 10,000 maybe. You know,
I'm at 398.
But no, I mean absolutely, because it's, you know, every night it's different. It might be the same song, but every night you play it for a different set of people. It's different.
I also realized that that you play the solos differently. That was the last song, right, Doctor?
Right.
Where it's also more bluesy the way you play the solos. So you're not playing it that straight.
I play it different than I played it last week. You know,
really?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Some things are you know, thought out and played note for note, and there's a lot of improvising too. And to me, that's what makes every night different
it
than the
keeps
one
it kind
before.
of fresh. I
Keeps
think,
it fresh and exciting. That you don't know what's going to happen in 2 seconds. That's the beauty of improvisation.
Live rock and roll.
Who brought you to UFO anyway? Who called you in, what was it, 2003, I think?
I believe so. We had a mutual friend, and he knew they were looking for somebody, recommended me, and I was asked to send a CD of some of my music to Phil, and I did that, and a couple weeks later I got a phone call from my manager saying, Phil likes the CD, he likes your music, and he wants you to join the band. And it's been all downhill from there.
Until I came back.
Until Andy came back.
Now it's going back up, man.
But how was that? I mean, you must have, like me, you must have bought UFO albums when you were a teenager. How was it to at one point play in that band? Or wasn't it like that?
I had never heard of them before, actually. I mean, I thought it was like aliens and spaceships.
It was a real UFO.
No, I'm joking. I was actually a fan when I was a kid. I had Lights Out, Obsession, and Force It. And my friend had Strangers. So I was always a big fan of the band and knew how to play a lot of their songs. So, you know, stylistically, it wasn't a big stretch for me to fit into the band. Whereas I could have gotten a gig in another band and maybe not fit in so well and had to work hard to fit in.
And you wouldn't have got
with
to play
this,
with
it was
me.
very natural. You know, I fit right into the band, no problem stylistically, because I was influenced by the band and grew up, knew the music, and knew how to play a lot of the songs.
So you would tell us the secret what the other band would have been? You would have joined?
No, I mean, there is no other band. I was just saying, hypothetically, there could... let's just say I got offered a gig, and
Wilfred, I'm sure there's many
stylistically
bands would
better.
like to have Vinny as a
there must have
guitar
been
player. You know,
that
I'm
band,
sure, yeah.
which-
But we're very fortunate to get him. He's one hell of a player, and he's a real nice guy. And he'll be giving me some money later on for saying.
Later, you can...
I'm very happy. I mean, like I said to you, I think the band is really strong, and it's, and I think you only go visit our website and you see the feedback coming now. To compare that to a few years ago, it's very positive now, and I think people are really starting to dig what we're doing.
Okay, we talked about Pete. You told me how he's doing, and from all our readers, we wish him the very best.
Absolutely,
that he may be back in UFO as soon as
hopefully,
possible.
yes.
There's another rumor on the net, which I just want to know if it's true or not, that in '82, when Michael left for the first time, Eddie Van Halen should have joined you.
I heard this too. This mostly from Pete. Told me this, that he spoke to Eddie, and Eddie said that when we were looking for a guitar player to replace Michael, because although Paul Chapman replaced him, there was a point when we were looking for someone, before we decided to stay with Paul. And Eddie said that he wanted to audition, but he didn't think he was good enough.
Nah, come on. Yeah?
No, that to me makes no sense at all, but I've heard that.
82, that was the height of Van Halen success.
Exactly. It wasn't 82,
No,
it would have been 79,
Obviously
around
before
79.
The first
Yeah, it was-
record was 78, and
It'd be
they
70.
were huge.
It would have been 79. Oh yeah, that's true. So I don't know when that would have been then.
So what?
Oh, actually, maybe it was when Michael first disappeared, because that was around when he just disappeared for the first time. Paul had to do the thing. I don't know, but I've heard that story too. But that could be something that Pete made up.
Okay, but it's
But I don't know. If I ever see Eddie, I'll ask him.
Okay. So then, I would thank you very much for talking to me. And
I was thinking it's probably a good job he didn't join, because he probably got his brother and I got kicked out. His brother had been playing drums.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then Andy, Vinny, thank you very much.
All right,
You're
thanks
welcome.
very much.
Thank
Great
you.
talking to you.
Thank you.